Hi everyone! March 5th is the new moon in Pisces, and it's also the first day of the first Mercury retrograde of 2019. So this Mercury retrograde is also going to feature the planet Mercury in the sign of Pisces. So in other words, on March 5th, we'll have new moon, which means both the sun and the moon are in Pisces, and also the planet Mercury is in Pisces, which in and of itself is not like a huge experience usually, except that it's going to kick off Mercury retrograde. So here's a breakdown of what that means. So, and again, this is general. The more you know about your specific horoscope and natal birth chart, the more specific information you can take from this. But generally speaking, new moon in Pisces is a great opportunity for us to kind of revisit our ideals, our bigger vision. It's a great time to express your creative energy in new and exciting ways. Your dreams might be extra potent at this time. You might be very psychically connected through what you're experiencing in your dreams. You might be getting strong messages, in other words, from your dreams. And just in general, your sensitivity is going to be heightened. And so that might mean that you get frustrated easily with others. It may also mean that your empathy with others is heightened. And so you might easily feel, take on the feelings of other people. And sometimes that can feel like a burden. It can feel stressful sometimes. So just be mindful. You're going to be a little extra sensitive during this time. But you can also work with that energy to your advantage by honing that sensitivity and healing your relationships because of the added empathy in your connection with others, and also working on expressing yourself in new creative ways because your sensitivity might fuel a new writing project, especially with Mercury lining up there, or perhaps a new art or music project or that kind of thing. Now, Mercury retrograde is a little bit of a different issue. So some of you may be aware when the planet Mercury appears to go retrograde, it doesn't really go backwards, it just appears to. That means that all kinds of strange things can happen with any of the areas associated with Mercury the Messenger. So electronics, vehicles, travel, contracts, paperwork, emails, computers, all of those things may have mishaps or just give some slight annoyances. So for example, there could be a glitch so that you don't receive this email in time. Or you might be counting on something to arrive in the mail and it's late. So just be prepared. The best way to deal with any Mercury retrograde is to plan some extra cushioning in your schedule, plan some extra time in your schedule to be prepared for delays or last minute emergencies, or just generally be prepared for things not functioning exactly the way they should, especially electronics. This is a time to be more passive, more receptive. This is a great time to start a meditation practice or some other type of spiritual practice. It's also a great time to do more reflective, dreamy, that kind of work that kind of gets you out of the projective mode and into the more receptive state of being so that you can really be open to receiving. And when you do that, what you'll find is that there may be some things from the past that haven't totally been healed and worked out, especially in relationships, and so things may bubble back up to the surface, and it may be difficult, it may be painful or annoying, but it is worthwhile to pay attention to those things. So Mercury retrograde sometimes forces us to put the brakes on the busyness in our lives so that we can tend to the internal emotional healing, subconscious life, those kinds of things. So having said that, I hope you enjoy the new moon in Pisces meditation at the end of this email. And with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, also be mindful that your emotions may be triggered by things that play on your desires, your wishes, and your dreams. And you may feel inclined to react before you have all of the information. So this is not a time to just run off on any whim that occurs to you. It's also not a time to be careless even with your intuition, because sometimes we can receive intuitive information, but we didn't quite digest it enough to really interpret it. So really take your time before jumping to conclusions. Thank you and have a great day, and happy new moon in Pisces.